books and reading are set to broaden the mind, but can often reinforce stereotypes. A new initiative, Read Up, is being launched this week by the organisers of the annual Stella Prize, which aims to change that by engaging young readers and guiding them their thinking through literature.
To tell us more, we're joined by Bec Kavanagh, who coordinates the Stella Prize Schools program. Bec, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What's the aim of the program?
The aim of the program is to challenge ideas and to expand the minds of young readers in areas of diverse cultures, LGBTQI, respectful relationships, feminism, minds and bodies, and I guess to develop and build empathy and respect.
So how are you planning on doing that? What type of books will these young kids be asked to read?
Yeah, so we've tried to put together a list that is books that they will engage with. So not books that they would necessarily come across through the school curriculum, but books that would actually have high interest to them. So there are books by young people, there's a lot of own voices texts, so books authored by people with the experiences that they're speaking to. We've got a really wide range of accessibility, including graphic novels and verse novels, and so there's a really great level of text that they can access and ways to get into it.
And are these book lists that are sort of offered to schools, and if they like, they can take it up, or is it a more prescriptive program than that?
No, it's definitely not prescriptive. They're certainly offered to schools, and then schools can choose to use them in whichever way they see fit. So they do have like a list of reading questions that goes along with them, and some further resources that would certainly support the use of them in schools. But we're also, one of our key focuses is to make sure that they get to students who perhaps aren't in the traditional education system, or who don't engage with school that much, and so to make sure that they're, passed out through libraries and bookshops and other youth organisations.
You said one of the aims of the program is to challenge gender stereotypes. What's the connection, I guess, between language and this physical or practical connection?
Well, I mean, I guess the literature that we read and the films that we see and the television that we watch, all of that supports kind of subtle biases about how we view ourselves and how we view our kind of roles in the world. So you see a lot of those stereotypes being perpetuated on quite a subtle level, and the unconscious bias is definitely really prevalent in a lot of the social and cultural commodities that we access. So I guess by trying to promote books that actively challenge that actively challenge things like toxic masculinity, that show women doing things, outside of traditional stereotypes, we hope to offer alternative narratives for young people to hold on to and to kind of support their ideas of challenging those traditional stereotypes.
I guess I describe myself as pretty PC, I suppose, and a lot of what you're saying appeals to me, but I've got to say, there's a part of me that just thinks, reading and the creative world and the world of the imagination and the mind should be one of those zones, surely, where we are allowed to go where our mind goes. And to have the idea of some sort of stitched up, prescribed, correct line thinking reading list kind of gives me shivers, actually. And I describe myself as a feminist.
Yeah.
I don't want someone reading a list of things that I've decided is good for you.
Yeah.
And you've got to now think along these lines rather than, explore the world and get there yourself.
Yeah, look, I can see that, and I think that's certainly something that that we've got to be wary of. But I would hope that these are the opposite of that in fact these do support that sort of open-minded thinking, and in fact what they're doing is
thinking that you support. Thinking that you and the organisers think is the right kind of thinking.
Well,
it may be the right kind of thinking, but I think I just resist the idea, as someone who lives in a liberal society, of someone dictating that to me or to a child that I know. Sure,
but I guess, I mean, when you think about it, a lot of young readers are already getting things dictated to them. They're getting the school curriculum dictated to them, and the way that books are promoted and reviewed, they're already kind of having things shaped. So I guess what we're trying to do with this list is just to offer an alternative and say there are other books out there that offer different perspectives, and if you would like to explore those perspectives or already have those ideas and don't feel that they're supported in what you're reading, then here's some books for you. And then we've also approached a lot of consultants during the course of the program and development of it. And so I would hope that there isn't just one line of thinking in there. I would hope that it does encourage a diverse approach to...
Does the program go beyond sort of recommending books? Does it actually encourage a dialogue? Is that also built into the program?
Yeah,
or discussion
absolutely.
around the issues?
Absolutely. So the program is both in physical booklet format and also online. And what we hope is that that dialogue will start to happen online as well. As I said earlier, we've developed a list of reading and thinking points so that they can start having conversations in schools or in their, youth groups or their peer groups or whatever. And in addition to that, it's backed up by a lot of the ideas that we work on with Girls Write Up, which we're doing like a mini series of in some smaller youth organisations as a part of the Read Up program. And so that part of that is to create a community where they can explore and talk about those ideas in person.
Bec, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.